Yo, 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 yo. What's up, my breads and my heads? How are we doing, Eric?
Oh, dude, I don't even know.
I don't know
Dude,
either.
2025 is already cooked. I fucked up. 2026 is my year for sure.
Yeah, I'm calling it a wash already. Uh, I would like to hit fast forward on this year and just jump to next year.
Yeah, me too. Tell me, Ty, how did you fuck up this year
Well,
so far?
I just thought, you know how everyone always has these incredible health goals for the new year? Well, I I, I procured so many snacks for my New Year's activation and so much alcohol that all I've eaten every single meal since midnight on January 1st is like potato chips and dip and beer. I've had copious amounts of
Hmm.
alcohol and junk food every single meal.
Hmm.
So I'm just like, my stomach is 100% filled with just like crackers and cheese right now. I'm so cheesed.
Hmm. Hmm. Dude, I totally understand. But you know what, Ty? Honestly, the year doesn't really start until Monday,
Hmm.
like January 6th, right? Like nothing is this week that we are in between Christmas and the first actual Monday of the new year is kind of just like no man's land, and like there's no rules. Like it's kind of like battle royale. Like you can kill your neighbor and there's no consequences.
Yeah, totally. Or yourself from overindulgence. Um,
Yeah.
and I think that I always thought it was weird that the stock market is open on days like today. Don't aren't because it's like
Hmm.
that's like a more significant representation of when I should be working than like even what the Governor Trudeau says is a public holiday. Like if the stock market's open, that indicates business is happening. But there's no
Hmm.
business happening. So there's a discrepancy here, Eric, that I'm just acknowledging.
Honestly, you're a very observant, Ty, because almost no business is going on this podcast. This podcast is purely pleasure, and I mean, there's other people in the world though. Like those other people are rising and grinding. They're waking up at 6 in the morning on January 2nd, clocking in, crushing some spreadsheets, absolutely demolishing those numbers and tasks that they have laid out in front of them, and then heading home. And it's the beginning of the new year for them, and they're excited because they get to go back to their corporate routine. And me and you, Ty, we've transcended that. I mean, we've evolved past the need for a punch card, if you will.
I don't need to dabble in the Excel sheets. I'm dabbling in my 800 thread count Egyptian cotton sheets. I have
Hmm.
nowhere to be.
That's right. I'm dabbing my balls in this warm bath tonight. That's what I'm doing.
Damn, meatball soup.
Yeah, dude, that I call that a matzo ball soup, the perpetual matzo ball soup at the Eric household.
No, not the perpetual bath soup. Uh,
Perfectly bath salted to perfection.
because of your sweaty balls.
No, from the Epsom salt, obviously.
Mm,
But I can actually relate to you because I'm also in a bit of a health crisis. I dude, for the last like 7 days straight, I've been eating so much food. I've been consuming so much liquor. Every single meal is like I'm stuffing my face for absolutely no reason. It's like I'm a small, like African child who has never seen a full plate before. And I'm just like, I have to fill myself or else I don't know the next time I'm going to eat. That's the mentality I'm going to every dinner with. But I'm eating the next day. In fact, I'm eating a mere 12 hours later,
hmm.
So there's really no excuse for me to order the ribeye at Joey last night. You know what I mean?
Dude, I 100% get it. I'm getting cravings I've never had before. I feel like a pregnant woman. I'm like, yesterday I was like, I feel like Skittles right now. I never feel like Skittles, Eric. What is
Oh
going on?
no. Damn, dude. Yeah, we have to we got to limit the Skittle intake for sure. My boy is tasting the rainbow. No.
No.
Ayo.
Fellas. Damn.
But yeah, dude, I also have the body shape of a pregnant woman. I'm
Hmm.
about 12 months pregnant.
You're starting to show.
I'm showing a lot, and that's why actually today is the first day of my 36-hour fast. So I hadn't eaten
Oh,
since last night. Last night I had a big steak dinner. Today I don't plan on touching food. I actually had a carrot juice this morning, and yeah, I don't plan on eating until tomorrow, basically at lunchtime. So wish me luck. Currently, I'm doing
wow.
fine. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm not feeling hungry. I've been keeping the mewing gum in my mouth so I can practice chewing. That doesn't take a day off.
You don't want to lose that muscle.
Definitely not, dude. I can't risk a rest day.
That's okay. Podcast yapping is good for the jawline too.
Totally.
Wow. So you did
So
so
yeah,
much
pray for me.
self-destructive, like food intake that the only logical thing to do was fast for 3 days.
I'm at my wit's end, Ty. Everything I eat, I feel like it's just piling on. you know, even if I have a normal meal, it's just I don't know. It's the tip of the iceberg. Like I have so
Hmm.
much undigested food below the surface that I need to like resolve that before I can like dive back into 12 inches at the way. God forbid.
Right. The stomach is ballooning, but it's about to pop.
That's right. That's right. So I honestly think the drastic times call for drastic measures, and I'm measuring about 50 inches. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
So whenever I try to fast, which I never recommend, I I start to feel a little bit hallucinogenic after the first day. Obviously
hmm
fatigued, um, cranky AF.
Yep.
How are you dealing right now?
I'm thrilled. Honestly, it's the break I needed to.
Never been happier to not consume.
Yeah, totally. I don't know. It feels like the right thing to do, and I think the biggest thing will be to like, how do I fill my day with meaningful activity that isn't cooking, cleaning, or eating?
Yeah,
That takes up so
you
much time.
yeah, you take back a lot of time just by eliminating that core human function.
Totally. So I don't know. Today I'll try to hit the gym. I will maybe wash the car. I don't know. I'll find something that I can do to kind of just like, I don't know, whittle away the hours. I have to take down my Christmas tree. There's
Mm,
shit to do, Ty. So I'm not worried.
He's got a backlog.
That's
Um,
right.
and dude, the other bender I'm coming off of is just like all of that holiday time, all of that free time. I got into some really good, put some really good reps in the scrolling department. I've been
Oh,
scrolling so much, and my eyes kind of hurt from it. Feels pretty good. It's kind of hard to come off of that bender, though. Are you fasting on scrolling too? Because you could just fill that time with a few more reps in the Reels tab.
dude, yeah. That's actually the best way to get through any tough time. Like,
Hmm.
I think we could probably all just get off of painkillers and instead just like go hallucinate in the algorithm for like an hour.
That's what Black Mirror wants us to do.
I think so too. I need to do that, but it's not going to happen, honestly. I don't know, dude. I think it's the next step of the operation for sure.
Hmm. I think so too. Um, it's hard to reset. It's hard to do the New Year's reset because life keeps going, man. You got to make space for the reset.
No, I agree. But are you still consuming alcohol at the usual rate, or are you kind of like coming down that mountain as well? Because that's a tough one.
Eric, I am not tapering whatsoever. I'm thinking of ramping up for January. I know a lot of
In your
people
bulking phase.
yeah, exactly. A lot of people do a dry January. That's a common trend. I'm actually just going to try to eat more multivitamins and then up my alcohol, my ABV intake.
Damn.
Wait, you're dry curious this month, aren't you?
That's right. I am transitioning to a dry lifestyle. Um, yeah, I mean, to be honest, Ty, I watched the Avicii documentary last night, And it inspired me that I was on the right track by just limiting alcohol because do you know who I'm talking about, first of all?
I'm familiar with Avicii, RIP.
RIP. Yeah, he was living that lifestyle, Ty. He was partying. He had some mild pancreatitis from drinking and partying so much. So I don't think I'm anywhere near that level, but I do want to just like reset my, I guess, my love of alcohol. Like,
Mm,
I think if you like take a break from something, then you can go back into that relationship feeling more like you need it or like you want it, not just, fulfilling like a habit that you have. Like I went
yeah,
out for dinner and I had water and it sucked, but honestly felt kind of good.
wow. Sometimes doing things that feel bad also can feel good. That's both the defense of and defense against alcohol.
hmm Yeah, it's the bodybuilder's mentality.
Hmm.
Suffer short-term pain for long-term bitches.
Yeah, exactly. Man, every time I think about Avicii, I feel so sad, dude. Like, that guy would have loved Brat Summer. Like, he is so Brat. And it just sucks that he didn't get to see that.
Damn, dude. Yeah, he missed out on so much, man. Um, yeah, since 2018, but he didn't have to suffer through COVID, which would have been probably really hard for him. Actually, if I think about it now, like
Hmm.
being unable to, I don't know. I guess in his later years, he didn't really perform anymore, but you're kind of stuck inside with your own thoughts. So that would have been obviously very troubling.
Yeah, for sure. Avicii would have loved Brat Summer, but hated the Fortnite DJ set.
Oh no. Yeah, dude, forcing Avicii to sit through the Travis Scott Fortnite concert. That if it wasn't his depression, it would have been that.
Yeah, for sure. Wow,
Jeez.
tough times.
I know.
Well, you're inspiring me, Eric. You are my health muse for this month. Maybe I will taper back all vices in my life in
Hmm.
order to regain control of my body, mind, and spirit, which is
Nice.
always a good perspective to have.
I think so too. And I remember mentioning this to you last year, but I think what we should do, maybe as a pod goal or maybe just a personal goal, we should do some more body experiments. Like just like experiment with certain procedures, treatments, or supplements to
Mm,
see how they affect us and kind of like be our own guinea pig, Brian Johnson style. Like, can I monitor this niche part of my life and then optimize it? It's kind of
yeah,
interesting.
it's a very interesting segment to offer here. We're like foot long Brian, Long Johnson.
That's
I
good
like
shit.
that. I like that. Okay. I will start dreaming. I will dream up a initiative for us for next episode, and I will bring it to you. We will discuss.
I love it. I will keep you updated on Tuesday on how this fast goes.
Hmm.
Next time you see me, I might be skin and bones, Ty. It's entirely possible.
You're a spooky, scary skeleton.
Hmm. Jawline is the only muscle left.
The only one that matters when you're on on a video call podcast all day.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't even need legs to
Nice.
do this.
Hmm. Yeah,
Dude,
dude.
some absolutely, speaking of health, some new twisted news from Subway. Oh
Oh
no,
no.
this again. What could it be?
As long as it's Subway, enacting the dangers and it's not a patron, I'm kind of fine with it.
You never get a news story that's like, oh wow, the Subway ingredient was healthier than we previously expected. That's almost never the case in anything. It's always breaking news. This thing has microplastics, causes cancer, makes you ugly. It's
Hmm.
Ozempic is like the inverse. It's the only thing where people are like, wow, this keeps getting better.
Yeah. Yeah, how does this fucking needle thing improve my life so much? That's crazy.
Yeah, nothing else does that. Everything is just destined to discover more things that are wrong with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Probably a healthy way to look at life. Like things can only hurt you.
Yeah, totally. Like
Spending money on shit can only hurt you, you know?
everything that is tempting you to spend money on it is designed to give you, like, to hurt you. Yeah, it is. Short-term pleasure, long-term pain.
Mm-hmm.
Never, if you want to like be like maximum amount of healthy, just don't ever consume anything in all senses of the word.
Yeah, 100%. Just be.
Hmm. Be a monk,
Be a monk,
a
yeah.
monkey.
Stink like a monk.
Exactly.
So what
Should bite like
monstrosity,
a bee.
Ty? What
Uh,
monstrosity did Subway recently launch? Like what did they like did they
where am I
launch a
going with
new
this?
ingredient that's gonna kill us?
It's not a new ingredient. It's an ingredient that's been floating around the menu for quite a while. Do you remember the crispy onions?
Oh no, don't tell me the
Hmm.
crispy onions are causing I don't know, Avicii levels of pancreatitis.
Not quite, but I've been dabbling in them quite a bit, you know? It's a
Hmm.
satisfying textural addition to especially the super soggy veggie patty.
It's your crouton.
It's a crouton, and like everyone likes a little bite, you know? It bites back. Well, I got bad news, Eric. Okay, before I tell you it, did you know that the crispy onion actually has a name? It's called SubKrunch. I've been calling it crispy onion. The sandwich artist is responding to that, but the official terminology that the sandwich artist should be abiding to is sub crunch.
So they are breaking the brand guidelines by affirming your you're actually dead naming the crispy onion.
I am I am being misled as a consumer, and they are validating the big lie. Because Eric,
Wow.
there is no onion in this thing. That's why it's called sub crunch.
Oh fuck, we should have known better.
We should
That's
have
on us,
known.
honestly.
All it is like corn. It's just corn.
It always has been.
Yeah, it's like deep fried thick flakes of corn
Dude, what the
and
fuck?
maybe with a bit of salt.
This is crazy. So, okay. At what point, Ty, do you think it's the consumer's fault? Because like this isn't like we don't have this protection in our legal system where like, you know, like the brand or the company always has the ultimate kind of liability. Like you
Mm-hmm.
have to be selling stuff that is like good and honest, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But like at what point do we just like point the finger at the victim and say, why are you buying this shit, bro? Like you have to use some critical thinking skills here and like use some of that whatever's left of that DNA of yours that was a hunter gatherer and fucking make a decision for yourself, you know?
Yeah, dude. If a caveman was at Subway, they're not get picking the sub crunch and putting on their sandwich. That looks like inedible and poisonous. They're going for the cucumber slices and the leafy greens. That's what the
Yeah.
caveman knows.
It's like I've seen a leaf before, but I haven't
Mm,
seen this fucking piece of corn deep fried to look like a different vegetable that was also deep fried.
mm-hmm. And corn isn't even a natural vegetable. It's engineered by humans.
Yeah, that's true. So like, damn. So we created corn. We created deep frying. This is just the natural next step. Deep frying the corn.
Yeah, I guess so. Doesn't make any
Wow,
sense. So I kind of
dude.
get the
Yeah,
whole paleo whole food diet now because,
yeah,
like, you're right. This is not victim blaming because humans should know better. Like, even Doritos, like, those are also made from corn, but they don't look like food. Doritos look like, I don't know.
spicy triangles.
Yeah. Like, both Doritos and Sub Crunch kind of look like they were, like, taken from a coral reef. They're just like pieces
Hmm.
of a coral reef that were chipped off, and you're like, yum. It's the
Yeah.
closest like natural connection I can make.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like once you start leaving Earth, that's when the possibilities open up. Like I
Mm,
can totally see Mars producing some kind of, Dorito looking thing. Like maybe it's stuck to the rover's wheel. Like when it comes back, it's like, oh yeah, there's some chips. Like it kind of
mm,
looks like otherworldly. And then you think of like
yeah.
the vastness of the universe, and you're like, well, technically everything exists if we're considering the scope of the universe. Like infinite things can exist. So I just
Hmm.
destroyed my own argument.
Well, this is where I struggle as well, Eric, because there is a argument that if something can exist on our planet, then it is therefore natural because nature gave us everything.
Totally. I remember a like particular part in the novel Sapiens where he's like critiquing people who are critical of like people doing things outside the norm.
Hmm.
Like for example, like being gay. he's like he's like, how can you be critical of like a gay person and say that that's not natural, which is like a typical like bigoted statement, right?
Hmm.
You can't really critique that because like if that's happening on Earth, like in random like ways and they're not influencing each other, then it's like that is natural, in fact, because it's like the natural evolution of humankind is to like have some people do this thing. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah,
like, how can you
totally.
say something's not natural if it's happening?
If it's an observable act happening on Earth, that makes it natural,
Exactly.
which is hilarious because most people with that critique are like religious nut jobs, and there's nothing more unnatural than a god because there's no evidence of it.
Yeah, true, dude. Exactly. Dude, nothing makes sense actually if you think about it. Like,
Hmm.
especially religion. But do you think like which religion would have created the I was gonna say the Buddha bowl.
I can tell you which religion it probably wasn't.
Oh shit. Dude, the green goddess dressing tie, do you think that's like is there anything real about the green goddess dressing, or is it simply like made in a storybook?
The green goddess dressing is definitely like a yeah a pagan dressing for sure. You know,
It's a mythical one.
a mythical one. Um, it's funny how that even got its name because it just kind of showed up one day. I remember life before green goddess dressing, and I know life now, but I don't know when we all just upgraded our operating systems to be like, this is a thing and we all know what it is. It doesn't make any sense. It was divine intervention that inserted the green goddess dressing into all of
Hmm.
our collective consciousness.
Hmm. No, you're absolutely correct, Ty. I remember the exact moment I first saw Green Goddess dressing, and it was at Banter Room in Yaletown, which is like
Mm,
seems like the obvious ground zero for this.
They would be the first to import that into the city.
100%. Like much like a virus, it spreads around the world at a different rates. But yeah, landed here in Vancouver via Yaletown, probably like the Canada Line station, kind of like emerged from the depths of
Yeah,
hell.
yeah. Someone brought a bottle over from Trader Joe's.
Totally. And we've all kind of just like agreed that it is the same thing. Like Green Goddess implies nothing. Same with like Thousand Island. It's like, what the fuck
Hmm.
is that?
Doesn't make any sense. I want the WHO to make a statement on Thousand Island dressing. We need answers. What
Yeah,
is the
dude.
origin of
Which,
this thing? Where is it coming from? Who is it hurting? Who is
hmm
at risk
and
here?
it, and who's profiting? That's what I want to know.
Hmm.
Who is, if we follow the money, does the Green Goddess dressing lead to what? The Epstein family, the
Maybe.
Rothschilds.
I bet you whoever the crooks over at Hidden Valley, they've seen the Thousand Island sales dipping in recent years, and they thought we need to bring something new to Americans' dinner tables.
Hmm. I just don't think it's coincidence that it's named after an island.
Epstein's Thousand Islands.
Yeah, dude. If I was Epstein, I would name my island Hidden Valley
Hmm.
or Forbidden Valley, either one.
Forbidden Valley. That's good. That's good. Yeah, it doesn't make sense, but the chokehold that Green Goddess dressing has on like the Whole Foods generation is just unbelievable. It's gonna
Hmm.
surpass blue cheese dressing very quickly as the go-to sauce for most side salads.
Oh, dude. As soon as you start dipping chicken wings in there, it's all over.
Hmm.
Because that's the only thing that blue cheese has that no one else has.
Yeah, that's a good point. Blue cheese owns the wing market, but you know what chicken wings are nowadays? They're just crispy bits that are unidentifiable. They're SubKrunch at this point, Eric.
Oh, shit. They're the Dom Crunch.
They're the Tom Crunch. Yeah, they are.
Fucking hell. Dude, food is scary. Like being somebody in the in a food position of power. I'm terrified because it just seems like there's so many like competing like ways of living that have no like evidence really, or they all have like substantially good evidence that it's like the best way to live, like the whole food diet, the
Hmm.
carnivore's diet has some legs if you ask Joe Rogan.
Hmm.
There's other things obviously, but yeah, dude, if imagine like just like opening a restaurant thinking you are the way to be, like your message is the right one, and then in a year you get subpoenaed.
Hmm.
Some kid shoots you in the head on the sidewalk in New York City, and that's it.
Dude, all because you liked the CrossFit lifestyle and wanted to bring the keto diet to more Americans.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, being somebody who like spreads diets, is that the new way of like converting people to a religion?
Feels like it, hey? There's like a dietarianism that is the new it is a new religion in a way because it's a belief system, right?
Hmm. It
And
totally
maybe that's
is.
where
I can.
Subway has struggled so much is that the belief system
Oh,
of the religion of the way, the story isn't that strong anymore. There's too many holes in it. The atheists are poking holes and saying, "Hey, we don't think this is real."
yeah, dude. The fast food deniers and the Whole Foods apologists are teaming up against Subway because they're kind of like square in the middle, you know?
Hmm.
Fast, healthy ish food. We know that's a
Hmm.
lie, but yeah, dude. What is Subway's message anymore? Like, they're not fresh.
No,
What's going on with Subway?
they gotta drop the fresh. It should just say Subway, eat,
Eat, sir.
eat. Yes, I will.
It's kind of like the wine that's just called open. Kind of vibe with that. It's like really
Yeah,
clear instructions, you know? Subway, eat.
yeah, 100%. I don't really know what the point is. I hope in 2025 they find new purpose, but the sub crunch isn't a very good indicator of maybe what's to come.
No, I fully agree. How do we fix this, Ty? How do we fix
Well,
this?
I felt it my responsibility for years of recording this podcast, Eric, to try to help this brand, try to help them by showing the world that this your sandwich can be a catalyst for discovering yourself, for propelling your identity, for living more flavorful, creative life. But I feel like we're just constantly up against challenge after challenge to like solidify that narrative in the hearts and minds of our listeners and just people in general.
Mm-hmm.
We can only
Fuck.
do so much.
You're right. Some evils can't be defeated, but they can be kind of pushed aside, you know, in favor of better things.
Hmm. So, on that note, we are shifting to a fully a blueberry podcast this year because blueberries are rich in all sorts of micro and macronutrients.
Hmm. This will be a blueberry juice podcast. We're done with solids over here, so
Mm,
just fruits and veggies and liquids for the boys. Our
hmm.
Guinness era has kind of ended really abruptly, isn't it?
In a sad way, it may have. Although I might have
Hmm.
to have a cheeky pint tonight, just one more split.
That's right. You have 3 days until the real start of the year. So any day now, but yeah, get it in while you can, Ty, because come Jan 6th, it's time to band together.
Two big things are gonna happen for sure.
We have to band together and stand by and stand strong
Mhm. Man,
and stand hungry.
I feel like Jan 6 isn't like it fell off so fast. I know it was near 3 years ago, 4 years ago, but it feels like such a monumentous moment should have generated just as many memes as 9/11, but it hasn't resonated in the meme community as much as I'd like it to.
Yeah, that's true. And it's just so absurd. It's actually more absurd than a plane flying into a building, if you think about it. Like, it was
Yeah.
bound to happen, kind of thing. Like, planes were always going to end up in a building at some point.
Hmm.
Like, you're telling me a hunk of metal floating around in the sky is not going to land in the wrong place once?
Yeah, it was a ticking time bomb.
Exactly. But, ticky time bomb.
God.
Oh, fuck. I imagine that's what was going down on the plane. It's like, this is
Yeah.
a ticky time bomb.
Oh my God.
Apologies, breadheads. What was I saying? Oh
You
yeah,
were saying,
people
yeah.
people breaking into the Capitol, like that seems like shit you see on movies only, really. And then like
Hmm.
a random white supremacist sitting in like Nancy Pelosi's desk with his feet up, like that's crazy shit, bro. Like we need a whole movie on that.
I know. We got no movies. We got no documentaries. There isn't even like a name that has like dominated the headlines. Like everyone has been able to maintain their anonymity except for a couple viral photos of people wearing
Mm,
like tiger skin like suit or something.
yeah. Well, you know what, Ty? Maybe it's because there's no enemy to invade, and so it just can't become bigger than it already has. Like it happened and it's done. But with like 9/11, bro, like that was the spark that ignited the flame. Like we, not us, but Americans invaded fucking everywhere else after that.
Right,
So
right. So you're saying the while the act of the insurrection was symbolic, there was actually no ops on the other side to fight back or to fan the flames. So it
mhm,
just kind of petered out. It then made the entire thing just look like a performative act.
mhm. There was no narrative arc because nothing came out of it. Like they didn't even squash the election. Like their only goal didn't even work. So
Mm.
whereas like the terrorist attacks on 9/11, that sparked like 40 movies and like several years of war
And
and
now I have to
also
take my
like
shoes off.
conspiracies. Yeah. Now I have to fucking check my toothpaste.
Yeah, exactly.
So like it just like changed our world fundamentally. And also like thousands of people died. So there's that too.
Also a good point. Also a good point. We must acknowledge that. Okay, so they
So
are different levels here.
here's hoping we get a really great story in 2025 that we can really sink our teeth into.
I have one for you right now, Eric. I have some breaking news as of 2 hours ago,
Oh shit.
fresh on the books for 2025. This is
Okay.
still unfolding, so news is scant, but we are here to provide journalism. In Marion County, Florida, this afternoon, a 20-year-old man allegedly walked behind the counter at his local Subway and he made himself a sandwich.
Wow. A feel good story to kick off the year.
Yes. Um, the manager freaked out, phoned the sheriff's deputy, reported what happened, but the man was able to complete his sandwich and leave with around $10 worth of food unpaid, which makes sense. I don't think he should
Ah.
have to pay if he made it himself.
Yeah, he should pay at cost, probably like $3 or something.
Yeah, exactly. I think so too. Like pay for parts.
Hmm.
Anyways, police officer counters him immediately as he leaves. An alteration takes place. The man ends up not even getting to eat the sandwich. He throws it into a nearby trash can and tries to walk away. But he is
Destroying
placed under,
evidence.
yeah, he's placed under arrest and now he has a court date.
Wow. So what is the charge here, honestly? He's I guess there's like no is there a law that you can't go behind the line? Like I don't think so.
They're going to charge him for retail theft and criminal mischief.
Hmm.
And I feel like maybe it's theft, but that's, I think I could be this dude's lawyer and argue this isn't theft. He made the sandwich.
He's simply doing your job for you.
And he didn't even eat it. The sandwich never left Subway's property. It went in the garbage can outside.
Oh
So
fuck.
it's
So
like, did he steal this sandwich? Is the question.
hmm. I would argue it's probably destruction of company property then, because
Mm,
he's taking the bread that is edible and destroying it. And same with like a bunch of other ingredients. But I don't know. Do you think if you just asked nicely, like, hey, can I make my own sandwich? And they let you, and then you paid for it, do you think there's no laws being broken in that case? So I think we should try this.
I think so too, because if the sandwich artist consents, then it's not illegal.
Yeah, I asked permission, and you can check the cameras, bro. I asked.
It's all on tape.
Yeah. We should also wear a wire just in case.
Yeah, better to protect yourself. I'll bring the body cam.
Perfect. Um, when do you think the best time would be to do this? Like, I'm thinking like late at night at a 24-hour subway where there's like a young guy working who thinks it's also funny.
hmm Yeah, it has to be a young guy, and then we still got to rizz him up a little bit, like make him feel like we are just uh what's the word? Like we need to disarm him, make him feel like
Hmm.
we are non-threatening. We just want to have a little creative fun.
Yeah, we got to make him feel like we're his subordinates.
hmm we'll stop anytime. Just say the safe word.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not sure what the safe word is. There's so many directions we could go.
Hmm. Why not Green Goddess?
I like that. No one's gonna say it otherwise. I'm never getting that sauce,
Yeah.
respectfully.
Yeah, I mean, if we're making a sandwich, we don't need to say anything. We can just go. We don't need to ask ourselves, cheese and toast it. We can just do it.
I think I'd want to say it out loud just to see how it feels.
How about you make me a sandwich, actually? And I can say, yes, I would like it toasted.
Wow. Dude, I would be so patient with you if I was making your sandwich.
I would be fucking like so happy because I knew he'd put so much care into it. I'd be like, wow, Ty knows I want extra bacon.
And also just the opportunity to like delicately arrange the cucumbers so that nothing falls out. You get complete
Hmm.
coverage. There's some,
Oh.
I don't know. It appeals to the OCD side of
Hmm.
the patron. The customer wants a perfect
Hmm.
bite. The sandwich artist wants the foot long, just to get rid of it. They just want to hand it off as quickly as possible.
Hmm. Totally agree. There's a difference between, a pedestrian economy class train in the subway and a Japanese first class bullet train experience. You know what I mean? Those are two different things. And I know
hmm
that you're going to bring the level of service that I require.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna take the bullet.
Oh, man. Well, Kings, any other topics for today, or should we depart the station and chew our food along the way?
I think it's time to to hit the tracks and enjoy the ride. Breadheads, thank
Choo
you for
choo.
listening. Choo, choo.
Want to send us off?
All right, make sure to buy our merch. Next episode comes Tuesday. Thanks for listening as always. Think fresh, everybody. Ciao.
Peace.